Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cases That Should Have Gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Today, we're talking about marijuana grow operations. Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Romeo Serban was charged after a 911 call that was falsely made reported an incident at his residence and then hung up. The police investigated. Mr. Serban invited them into the home, and while they were there, they noted that he had a firearm and the smell of cannabis. He was arrested for possession of cannabis. A search of his residence subsequently took place, and the police discovered that he had a marijuana grow operation. In his case, Mr. Serban argued that there's a tension between two Supreme Court of Canada decisions. One that says if police are investigating a disconnected 911 call, they have the power to enter the residence to make sure that nobody is injured or in distress. Another that says that if police are greeted at the door and told that everything's fine, that they exceed their authority if they push their way into the house and investigate anything inside the house. Mr. Serban argued that because the police entered into his home, they should have obtained a search warrant first prior to entering his home because he'd already informed them that no one at the residence had made a 911 call, and they had no reason to believe that there was anyone in distress in the house. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court of Canada declined the opportunity to hear this case and to resolve the tension between those two lines of authority. So for now, it's still an open question as to whether or not police have this broad authority to continue to enter into somebody's house, particularly in circumstances where they have no reasonable belief that anybody is at risk, simply because of a disconnected 911 call. The Supreme Court of Canada is going to have to resolve this at some point because these two lines of authority simply can't stand without a resolution, but unfortunately, it's not going to be in Mr. Serban's case. You're watching Cases That Should Have Gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cases That Should Have Gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. I'm Kyla Lee at Acumen Law Corporation. These videos have been produced by Brazen Bull Creative. Please like, subscribe, and tune in next week for another exciting episode.